Hello and welcome to my vlog. Sniffs lavender. Oh my goodness, this just smells so good. Whew, so happy that I have this. I wanted lavender for so long because I smelled, I think maybe like a lavender like roll-on essential oil, and I was like, oh, that like works. And I had been doing Googles and it was like, oh, lavender helps you relax, and I was like, oh shoot, it really does. So whew, it's so good. I'm keeping that with me the whole time. So welcome to my vlog. I am Kyel Joy Brooks. I am a poet living in Chicago. I am a visual artist. I am a screenwriter. But what I am most focused on right now is a solo show that is going to be happening in January, which is going to comprise of my visual art and the release of more books, because I have already written 4 books. I earned my Master of Fine Arts in Writing from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago in May of 2018. And these days I'm kind of just like a rogue artist working a full-time job. But I wanted to start this page and just start chatting with peeps about the things that I love, and I can't help but start with this baby. It is Collected Poems of Gwendolyn Brooks. So the first book that Gwendolyn Brooks ever published is a book called A Street in Bronzeville, and I read that first in a seminar that I took at SAIC, taught by an actual person who was a student of Gwendolyn Brooks, and I just fell in love with Gwendolyn Brooks. I had always heard of her, knew she was a poet, knew that there were schools named after her, and of course knew that my name, you know, I felt like I was her namesake, but I had never like read her poetry until that class. And I have a whole bachelor's degree already, you know? That's crazy to me. So I think that's why I talk about Gwendolyn Brooks so much, because I feel like a lot of people know the name, but like they don't know the poems, and like the poems are the point. So I read that, and I don't know, it kind of just stuck with me. At the time I was living in Hyde Park. My first 2 semesters at grad school, I was living in Hyde Park, and then magically I like meet a guy and like fall in love with him, and he lives in Bronzeville on the same street as the Rosenwald, which is a very popular Chicago huge building that Gwendolyn Brooks happened to live in. So it just felt like the super cosmic thing. So I start working on my thesis, and I come up with this collection of poetry called A Bronzeville Basement. We're living in the garden level apartment. It's on that same street, and just like trying to have these same conversations that Gwendolyn Brooks was having about Bronzeville in 1945 in 2019. One of my favorite poems from Street in Bronzeville, so right, it just is like some of the collected poems, it's not all the poems, is Kitchenette Building. We are the things of dry hours and involuntary plan, grayed in and gray, dream makes a giddy sound, not strong like rent, feeding wife, satisfying a man. But could a dream send up through onion fumes? Its white and violet fight with fried potatoes and yesterday's garbage ripening in the hall, flutter or sing an aria down these rooms. Even if we were willing to let it in, had time to warm it, keep it very clean, anticipate a message, let it begin. We wonder, but not well, not for a minute, since number 5 is out the bathroom now. We think of lukewarm water, hope to get in. Whoo! That's a poem. Why are we still in America? Here we go. Kyel has on her beret, so that means She's trying to get to Paris ASAP. Why Paris? But it's because America is scurry. Okay. My other favorite poem is super duper long. I'm not gonna read it. But the cool thing is that it is on the internet. A lot of poems are not on the internet. This poem, my favorite Gwendolyn Brooks poem, I've been saying it for at least a year, so you know, seems to not be changing. But my favorite Gwendolyn Brooks poem, I said it right here, is a Bronzeville mother loiters in Mississippi. Meanwhile, a Mississippi mother burns bacon. And that poem is basically Gwendolyn Brooks pretends to, you know, be a journalist or a flyer on the wall in the house of the woman who accused Emmett Till of whistling at her the day after the court. And the idea is that she needs to stay so beautiful for what her husband, for the actions that her husband did, murdered brutally Emmett Till, to, you know, make sense. And you know, Gwendolyn Brooks had never met these people, had never been inside their home, but she tells the story of this gross white lady who accused Emmett Till making breakfast, burned the bacon, throws that away, you know, puts on a new slab. Everyone, she has 2 sons and the husband, they all sit around the table. She just wants to look beautiful more than anything else. They are sitting at the table, and the younger boy, theoretically, this is, you know, she was not there. The younger boy asks for some lasses for his biscuit, and the older son throws the lasses at him, in which the dad reacts. The dad, who's also the man who brutally murdered Emmett Till, reacts and slaps the young boy. And in that, the mom, the lady who accused Emmett Till, only sees, like, you know, blood and the gore, because they have been on trial for all these weeks, and there are so many pictures of what they had done to this young boy. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful poem. In this book, it turns out to be 7 pages, and I think that it takes about, to read out loud, at least 6 to 7 minutes. But it's a Bronzeville mother loiters in Mississippi. Meanwhile, a Mississippi mother burns bacon. This book is cool because when we talk about Gwendolyn Brooks and legacy and influence, I got this book for free, and hello, signed by the Rita Dove. Yes, because while I was in grad school, under the tutelage of that professor who I was saying was a direct student of Gwendolyn Brooks, we were celebrating her centennial. And fun fact, I don't know if everyone knows, Gwendolyn Brooks is the first Black person, not Black woman, Black person to win the Pulitzer Prize. So a lot of other Black Pulitzer Prize winners, including Rita Dove, Yusef Komanaka was there. Because I was grad, I was like staffing, you know, getting people to the proper tables, staffing for the talk that everyone had, getting everyone to the proper seating. But then when we got to dinner, we were able to like sit, and because we were at, you know, like this like helper table, we had a collection of everybody's book at our table, and not just like the person who were sitting with the book. So I have everyone's collection of book. Rita Dove, you know, the night's like kind of ending, everyone like drank some wine, we had a fun time, everyone ate their food. Rita Dove's kind of like sitting at her table with her husband, and like the people who are sitting at her table have gone. So me and, you know, my classmates, we shot our shot, we went over and we said, Rita Dove, we are, you know, we're sorry, but we can't not ask you to sign this copy of Thomas and Beulah. And she said, for Kyel, with warmth, Rita Dove, 2 Feb 2017. 2017? It's about to be 2020, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna read my favorite poem from here so I can get out of here, because actually I am on my way to a meeting with basically this warehouse, this collective about seeing if I'm going to be a part of their new cohort. I'm excited. Like ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get to my poem. 48. I was completely off. It just smells so good. Everyone, please get you some lavender. If you live in Chicago, I got that from Bon Surit in Hyde Park. It is right next to Valois and Mellow Yellow, that same street as Akira and Silver Room. This is, you know, this is a small amount. Like, if I were to really divide all the amount of lavender I have, I could probably make about 20 of these little sacks right here. And that cost me $8.99. But I've had it for almost 3 months and it still smells as good. And this is a cheat code. I had been sniffing it from like the huge bag, but I did this yesterday, put it inside this cute little small little situation. Whoo, yes baby, yes baby. Okay, this poem is called Magic. I'm gonna read this and head out because I got somewhere to be. You know, I'm trying to make gains, you know, trying to build my artist community. Chicago is a great place, you know, it's cold. I'm over it, so I need to network and get some coins so that I can travel a lot and have some real estate here. We'll get there. Magic. Practice makes perfect, the old folks said. So she rehearsed deception until ice cubes dangled willingly from a plain white string, and she could change an egg into her last nickel. Sent the yard to sharpen. She bent so long over the wheel, the knives grew thin. She stood up, her brow shorn clean as a wheat field and stifled with blood. She felt nothing, even when mama screamed. She fed sauerkraut to the apple tree. The apples bloomed harder every year, like all art, useless and beautiful, sailing in air. Things happened to her. One night she woke up on the lawn, blazed a scaffolding strung in lights. Next morning in the Sunday paper showed the Eiffel Tower soaring through clouds. It was a sign she would make it to Paris one day. I tipped my beret and I'm out, y'all. Bye. Okay. Lavender, Thomas of Euler by Rita Dove, and just a collection of Gwendolyn Brooks poems.